Hey, World Cruisers, it's Thursday, August 1st. We've just arrived in Riga, Latvia, which lies several miles up a river from the Baltic Sea. And our first stop was the Reformed Church in town, which was started in the year 1201 and was Catholic originally. And then in the 1500s, around 1517, Martin Luther came and it turned into a Lutheran church. And I learned that all the Lutheran churches have a rooster weather vane on top of them. So that's how you can tell, at least in Latvia, which ones are Lutheran churches. You look for the weather vane on top. So here we are in the main square. That's City Hall, looking behind that Riga sign there. And this strange building here is the Blackhead Guild building. They had guilds back there for the various professions, and this one was started by a guy that was black, so it ended up being called the Blackhead Guild. But this main square here, you'll see the City Hall. It's dark. In the wintertime, the sun only shines for a few hours a day up here, so they had to use a trumpet from that porch on top there to announce the opening and closing of business each day. And as we're walking down the street, we saw this strange white cart, which you're going to look at in a minute. It's a bike bar. They put seats on each one of those little pokey outies there, and there's a set of pedals, and the roof goes up, and people sit on that thing, and they pedal. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 pedalers, and they pedal around while drinking. So unique. But the architecture here is awesome. That purple building in the middle is really an amazing thing to look at. This church here also dates back to the 1200s. It has a weather vane on top, so it's also Lutheran. You can see 3 Lutheran churches from that square. This is the place where the President of Latvia lives. That's his castle right there. The flag flying shows that he's in residence. Our next stop is inland, about 45 minutes, in Bauska, and it's the Rendel's Castle. This is the Versailles of Latvia. The guy, I guess it was the Duke that used to be responsible for running this territory, built this castle, which is patterned after Versailles in France, but it's absolutely obscene. And we're going to go for a walk inside. Now, I've sped up the walking in almost all of these clips so that you can see it quickly. The tour, we were probably there for 3 hours. We had lunch in the basement, but we started off in the gardens, which are built like a wheel. So the spokes of the wheel all center on that fountain right there, and on the back of the house. And the center of the back of the house is the Duke's bedroom. So you'll see from upstairs, he overlooks the garden from the middle point. But you can see the spokes of the wheel coming towards that central fountain. And I can't imagine how many gardeners it takes to take care of this place. It's unbelievable. There are garden mazes. There's those are grapevines in those trellises there. But every place you stand in one of these center aisles, you look to the back of the house, just like that. You see what would be the Duke's bedroom on the second floor. So this is 17th century not a castle, a palace. And it's very well maintained. As we go through the palace itself, you'll be able to see a couple of places that aren't restored, but most all of the stuff we went through was restored, and we didn't even get to walk through the entire palace. We didn't get to walk through the Duchess. Well, we walked through the Duchess area, but my camera ran out of battery, so you're going to see mostly the common areas and the Duke's living space. And we had lunch down in the what would be the basement, or maybe it used to be the dungeon, I don't know. But the state of repair and of restoration is amazing. This was the main hall where the king or the duke would have received the visitors. And that's a gold leaf on all those trimmings you can see above the windows and on the ceiling. So the style was to have this back section, a hallway the entire length of the building. When you look down these hallways, you can look both directions down the entire length of the building, so the hallway connects all the rooms. And this is a place where they kept their Chinese vases. They had 2 display rooms in the palace to display their Chinese vases, and this was one of them. The other one's coming up in a minute. Now, this hallway was used by the servants to go back and forth to the various locations in the palace. They sometimes use it if they had large crowds to feed. They would feed them in there. That blue, each of the rooms has a heater in it. Those blue ceramic, you'll see more of them later. Blue ceramic heaters were pretty unique. Here's the second display room for the Chinese vases. But this grand hall that you're going to see when I turn around, this is where they had the dances and the orchestra performed, and there's a piano down there in that far end. So this is where they entertained. But I totally get why the peasants revolted when some people were living like this and the rest of the people who lived around there were like indentured servants. They couldn't leave the land without the Duke's permission, and their living conditions were horrible compared to this. Though it's very strange that some should live like this and some should live in squalor. I get why the Russian and French people revolted. There's one of those blue ceramic heaters in the corner, you see. Those are fireplaces inside, but you can't see them. The smoke also doesn't come in the room. It goes up chimneys. So the servants would have to stoke those fires to keep the rooms warm. And since we're so far north, it's really cold here in the winter. They have maybe only 4 or 5 hours of sunshine a day in the wintertime, so really quite cold. So now we're entering into where the Duke had his living spaces, where he would entertain, and also where his bedroom is, with this beautiful library. It smelled like cherry wood in there. It was an amazing space. So you see the hallway runs the whole length of the palace. This hallway that we're walking in right now. And there's another one of those blue ceramic heaters. This is the rose room. I really have no idea what you would use this much space for. This is the Duke's bedroom. So I'm going to look out the window and you're going to see it focuses, it's on the center of the garden. So all the spokes of the wheel point to that fountain in the back, so you can see it from his room here. 2 heaters in this room, 1 on each corner you can see, and his bedroom there in the middle. I guess for the 1700s, those heaters are pretty amazing because they burn wood in those. So there's 3 of the 4 corners have a heater in them. The 4th corner has a door that goes into the heater, so you can stoke wood in the fires of those heaters. So we didn't get to see the Duchess area. This is a private dining room off the Duke's living space where he could entertain just the family, I guess, when they had small gatherings. And this is the billiard/game room. There's chess and checkers and card games set up all around. So okay, this is the unrestored area. See the state of restoration from the 1700s, still in pretty good shape, but not totally restored like the rest of the palace is. So I guess they're still working on getting the whole thing back to perfect condition. Anyway, this is owned partly by the government and partly by a trust that maintains it. They use the entrance fees for the restoration. They have quite a nice dining room downstairs where we had lunch. There you can see the state of restoration. This is a bathroom right there. So this building was used as a school for part of the time since it was occupied by royalty. Anyway, that's the castle. You can see how the rich and famous lived back in the 1700s. Then on our way back to Riga on the bus, we passed this castle here, which was built, I don't know, starting back in the 1200s at the confluence of 2 rivers. So, some pretty amazing places in Riga. Riga was of the Baltic states, Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia. Riga was kind of the biggest of the most populated of the states, and Riga is the biggest city, I think. So this is a time lapse of us leaving, going down the river to get back to the Baltic, so you can kind of see what the countryside looks like. So tomorrow we'll be in the second of the Baltic states, which is Estonia. We'll be in the capital of Estonia, which is Tallinn. So stay tuned tomorrow for some more adventures in Tallinn, Estonia.